Welcome to Maps 4.0, the latest in a series of short plays by Scott Choate. Our Zoom producer is Joshua Choate. Today's episode finds our main characters Terry, Zoe, Alan, and Yolanda riding out the pandemic on Sanibel Island, Florida. Our cast includes Stephanie Kazmarek as FBI agent Yolanda. Yolanda has been investigating the cyberstalking and attempted murder of Alan, the ex-husband of travel agent Terry, and the ex-lover of Terry's client Zoe. Yolanda has developed more than a little sympathy for Alan. The role of Terry is played by Francesca Del Colle. Terry is the owner of Maps, the last remaining brick-and-mortar travel agency in Portland, Oregon. Terry portrays herself as an old-fashioned travel agent who rejects new online technology, but is in fact an internet troll trying to destroy her cheating ex-husband Alan electronically. Our cast also features Ronnie Rubens Garcia as Zoe. Zoe was having an affair with Alan, resulting in her becoming a collateral target of Terry's cyber attacks on Alan. Zoe wanted to kill Terry, but the two women discovered that they had a bigger enemy in Alan, who was also already cheating on Zoe. They teamed up to destroy him. Terry, Zoe, Yolanda, and Alan are doing their best to get off the island of Sanibel as a hurricane gathers force just offshore. The time is late summer, 2020. Yolanda, where the hell are we?
In the middle of a hurricane, and I can't get a GPS signal.
I told you to watch for the sign to the causeway.
Well, I told you to take a right back there, not a left.
We've got to get off this ridiculous island before the sheriff takes Terry and Zoe seriously.
We've got to get off of this island before the sheriff closes the causeway to the mainland.
Wait a minute. This road looks familiar.
Sure does. We're back at the sheriff's station. You've been going around in circles.
Shit.
Alan, look out!
I hit something.
Yeah, no kidding. I think it was orange.
What could be orange in the middle of... Hey, get out of the back seat, you criminals.
You owe us a ride. You hit Terry.
Well, I'm sure I didn't hurt her any. With all the Krispy Kremes she's consumed over the years, she's got a protective outer layer.
You!
Wow, same old Alan.
You two bring out the worst in him. When you aren't around, he's a perfect gentleman.
Oh, until he robs you blind and starts trolling your ass on Christian Mingle. I think I dislocated my shoulder.
Oh, what did you two do? Overpower the sheriff and escape?
No, the sheriff is out looking for people stranded by the storm. We were released on our own recognizance.
Likely story. Alan, let's take these two dangerous felons to the Fort Myers County Jail. By the power invested in me as an FBI agent, I hereby arrest you two for unlawfully escaping lawful custody.
Oh, what a performance!
Hey, Yolanda really was an FBI agent.
Sorry, was?
They suspended her when she fell in love with your cyber-stalking and attempted murder victim, me.
We don't need to air our dirty laundry in front of these two despicables.
I'm getting nauseous. I need you to drive off this island and get me to the nearest emergency room ASAP.
I have a mind to just leave you here to fend for yourselves.
Alan, think for once. If we bring them in, I'll get credit and the FBI will have to reinstate me. There might even be a reward.
Hey, old guy, do you have any idea where you're going?
As good as anybody else in this car.
Because this doesn't look like the way to the causeway.
My shoulder is killing me.
This looks like the...
Ding Darling Nature Preserve.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like you've been here before.
No, I saw the sign.
The sign that was blown away by the storm?
Alan, watch where you're going.
The road's too slick. I can't stop the car.
drove us right into the swamp, you moron.
Yeah, but we landed right next to your RV, the one you sunk here with Eduardo.
Okay, back up. Back up.
I can't. The engine stalled. Everybody, abandon ship.
Oh, what are you, the captain of the Titanic?
Okay, I think I can get my door open.
Me too. Quick, everybody, up to the road.
Which way?
Back the way we came and fast, because it looks like we're in the eye of the hurricane and this respite won't last long.
Let me lean on you, Zoe. I'm feeling faint.
I'll help you, but I want a refund on my trip of a lifetime.
Now you want that?
Hey, you two. You're in my custody, so no funny business.
Oh, the hurricane overrides your custody. And since it's just the four of us, why don't you and Alan admit that you've been here before? Last night with Eduardo.
I will admit no such thing. After I took Eduardo's statement in the bar, I went straight back to my room where Alan was waiting.
And we made sweet love all night long.
Oh, now we know you're lying because Alan doesn't have that kind of staying power. Ah,
Shut up, you old cow.
oh, if my shoulder wasn't in so much pain,
Whoa,
I'd
whoa, whoa.
snap it right
What's
ahead.
that down the road?
It's a car. We're saved.
This is the sheriff speaking. All of you freeze with your hands up.
But I'm FBI.
I said all of you.
What are we going to do now?
It's every man for himself.
But we're a team. You're my fiance.
Oh, I saved your life. Tracked these two down, and what has it gotten me? An idiot who can't find his way off an island with only one bridge.
Welcome to our world.
Oh, you said it, sister.
Oh, don't you dare call me sister.
Everybody shut up and face forward. Okay, now Eduardo, take a good look. Do you recognize any of these suspects?
Sí, señora.
Which one of them tried to kill you?
All of them, señora.
Hello, hello, hello. I'd like to ask for our actors to come back on stage for a curtain call. We have Stephanie Kazmarek as Yolanda, Francesca Del Calle as Terry, Ronnie Rubens Garcia as Zoe. Lurking here in the swamp with me is the sheriff, and our Zoom producer Joshua is on the other side of the swamp. So thank you for all coming to MAPS 4.0 today. We have a little bit of time to get some feedback, get your thoughts on what you've seen today. And what we're going to do is ask you to raise your hand using the raise hand icon in Zoom, which you typically find across the bottom. And when we see a hand go up, Joshua is going to bring you on screen. So please, be decent. And we'd love to hear what you have to say. And then when you're done, we'll let you back in the audience and see who else would like to say something. So Josh, I see one hand out there. Julia Jacobs Kazmarek. My goodness, I wonder who that is. Let's bring Julia.
Every time.
How she gets that hand up so quick first is just amazing. But let's see if this process works and whether or not it's painful on her. I don't know where she went, Josh, but Julia, hello. Oh, there she is. Hi.
Mom, we can't hear you.
You might be muted.
You might be muted. Check your microphone in the bottom left. Oh, I don't know. Your mic isn't working though. Hi.
Well,
I think she liked it.
okay. We are going to take that as positive, and thank you for coming and supporting us. And oh, there's your mute button. Can you unmute?
No, it's her camera, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're just sorry. We're not getting any volume, but thank you.
And hi, Dad. I see your shoulder.
Well, the Kasmerics are here as they always are, and thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Anybody else want to raise your hand and be subjected to this process? Going public with the cast of masks. Oh, we have a few. Josh, why don't we ask Phil and Brenda to step forward? The Bubar clan. And this does take a little bit of time. While Josh is bringing everybody forward, I will tell you that MAPS 5.0 is in the works. So if you haven't gone on to Facebook and liked our MAPS Facebook site, please do that. And you'll be the first to know about MAPS 5.0. So let's see if we have Brenda and Phil popping up here. It is a rather painful process to be brought through the Zoom funnel. And
there we are.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
We love this one. It was way too short. And the only comment that I'd really have is that there was somebody that we heard from, but we did not see on camera. And we would like to know if that
she's disappearing right now.
That person who is disappearing is going to be on camera in 5.0.
Well, we will have to persuade her, and it will probably cost me something. And
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, we would definitely like to see the sheriff come back.
She's
and
not an actress.
Reprise.
Sorry.
At 5
You
point.
can do it, Nancy. You can do it.
But thank you guys, and thanks for being here. It means a lot to us to have you.
Hi guys.
Great fun. Great fun.
Thank you. We're going to send you back to the audience, and Josh, I see Alana has her hand up. Let's get the entire Bubar clan have their comments. So we're going to bring Alana in.
Hi. Wait.
Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hey, Alana. Hi. Alana. Thanks for being here.
Great performance. It was short, like my dad said, but I would have liked it a little longer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll try to do something longer next time. But thank you. Thanks for being here, Alana.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I see George has popped into the screen. George.
Yeah, just want to say that I really enjoyed this. Actually, I loved when you introduced the characters. That was just so much fun. I loved how they reacted and they were doing their funny little thing. I really liked that. It's going well, but I can't quite figure out where it's going. But it's this segment was a lot of fun. I just enjoyed watching it. If it's too short, maybe that's what it needs to be. I don't know. I'm just kind of going along with it, and I'm having fun with it.
Great, George. Thank you so much for being here.
George.
We appreciate you being here and appreciate your comments very, very much. Let's see. I think I saw Colette pop up next on the screen. Hey, Colette.
Hey guys. So I just really love this piece, and what I really love is watching the evolution of this piece and how your production values have increased and how you've met the challenge of doing something over Zoom. So, and all the producing, and I'm curious to see where this is going. And it was interesting when Alan was first introduced, he was so swarmy, and then in this one, he's a little nervous, Nellie trying to drive the car. So I really like how you brought that character along, right? And how you've developed all of them So I'm looking forward to part 5.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for those comments. Thank you for hanging in there with us through 4 of these.
Absolutely.
Thank
Let's
you.
see. I
I'm
think
gonna email you later.
I saw Martha Murphy George come up next.
Yep, that's me.
Hi.
Hi. It was great, short, sweet, wonderful. And Eduardo, that was a surprise. So looking forward to seeing him in person as well. And really looking forward to 5.0. Just keep it up. Everybody did super.
Great. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's how we get people into maps. We get their voice first, and then we figure out how to get them on screen. So
Awesome.
Eduardo might be making an appearance in 5. Thank you, Martha, very much.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Next, I saw Jason Dunn, and Jason, you are muted. So we'd love to hear what you have to say.
We really enjoyed it, and Anna has a question. And would you like to ask it, or shall I?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. We understand there will be a 5.0, but we wonder if there's a specific number that you're targeting for a total.
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, this started out as a writing exercise in a playwriting class, and the story some of you have heard was we all had to choose an occupation out of a hat, and so I chose the occupation of agronomist, and then wrote the first play based upon that. Zoe was an agronomist at one point, and then we changed the occupation, and then it just kind of came from there. So we think the episodes will probably continue. Good question. At some point, it might gel together as a 1-act, possibly longer, but we've got 5.0 on the drawing board, so I think we know at least it's going to go through there. So great question, and thank you. And thank you both for coming. Yeah, thank you. Let's see.
Are you happy?
I see Harry. Hey, Harry, how are you?
Oh, good. Do you like my pandemic haircut?
Yes. So they don't have any barbers in Bodega Bay right now?
Wow.
We've not been able to go inside. Anyway, hi.
Harry.
But I really enjoyed it. I like the classic sudden ending where you didn't quite know what was going to happen next. And that, of course, opens up the possibilities for an interesting follow-up. I can't hear you.
Good. I was asking the sheriff to do some behind-the-scenes stuff. Thank you, Harry. Thank you so much for being here. We always love to see you, and we'll keep you posted on 5.0.
Right on.
All right.
Thanks, Harry.
Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure.
And we see some more hands. So Josh is in the process of admitting people, and at this
I
point,
think we have a Q&A question.
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie. Let's see.
She's our Zoom master.
Linda just wants to commend everyone. Yes, I agree with Philip, too short. I really like this episode. You also provided the audience with a nice visual that allowed us to be part of the play. Great. Linda, thank you. Thank you for that Q&A.
Yes, actually, I didn't think I was going to be put on the screen here, but I did want to really tell you that the visual and then the first scene where you were driving and just the background was really enough to draw the audience into the play with you. And I don't know how you guys did it, that in a Zoom environment, you're able to produce this play. So I just wanted to congratulate you, and I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Well, great. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Linda.
You know, we're always we're having to adapt and figure out how to do theater in this time, and Zoom has allowed us to do a lot of things that we just couldn't do before. So thank you for that. And you know, I'm so fortunate to work with Stephanie and Francesca and Ronnie, and of course Nancy and Josh, because they make it so easy. Because clicking the right button at the right time is while you're trying to act is quite a feat. So thank you guys for that. And Linda, thank you for those comments, and thank you for being here. Let's see. I see Karen all the way from Australia. Good morning, good evening, whatever it is there. We're glad you're here.
It's 12 o'clock. Lunchtime.
Oh, how
At least I didn't have to get up at 5 o'clock to make this. So that was good. Really enjoyed it. And you know, when you look at the segments on their own, yeah, they're way too short. But by the time you put this together on stage, if you had a half hour for every bit, it's going to be, you know, way too long. So in the end, it will be perfect. In it by itself, no, it's way too short. It's like watching NCIS and really getting into the story, and then they go to be continued. You know, it's just not gratifying. But you know, I just enjoy your stuff, as you know, and have for years. So kudos to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for being a wonderful friend, and thank you for helping us be international today. And I promise we'll have something a little bit longer.
I should have put my mask on. I could have caught something from you people.
Well, you got better statistics in Australia than we have in LA, so kudos.
Yeah, just over 900 gone. So.
Well, anyhow, stay safe. It's great to see you, Karen.
You betcha.
Let's see. I think next up might be Joanne Del Colli. I wonder if this could be a relative.
This could be a sister in Arizona.
A sister in Arizona.
And this is just really fun to watch. It's really fun to watch it unwind. It reminds me when I was a kid of always being interested in the next comic strip. You know, when we would wait and see, you know, what happens next. So to me, this is what this feels like what happens next when Eduardo shows up. And it's just really well done. And it is very short, but I think that keeps you engaged, like what happens next. And everybody's working like such a team. And I agree with the background was really wonderful. I have a question for you. As the playwright, how many pages or how many words? It seems so short, but I'm thinking that it's probably a lot of work on your end to get the short piece written and thought out and put together. Is that true?
That's a great question. First of all, each one of these is about 10 pages, more or less.
Okay.
Because I've been trying to keep them in kind of a typical short 10-minute play format, which is, you know, pretty popular these days. So, but the writing of them, you know, I wish I knew how to articulate that, and maybe, you know, my friends on screen can help with their process, but it just kind of comes. And when it does, it pours out. And then comes the hard part, which is revising it. And as they will share with you, every rehearsal I bring a new script in where, you know, usually I've tweaked one or two words that like ring out to me and probably to them they care less about. But that's not a great answer to your question, but that's a little bit of the process. And then I have in my head an idea of kind of where the next episode might go. And at some point I'm sufficiently kind of motivated to sit down and work on that. That's kind of how it works. But I don't know, Francesca or Ronnie or Stephanie, any thoughts on that, or your process, or how my process has made your life a living hell?
I think you all know my process. It's pretty intense. But what I do like is that sometimes, you know, when I get an email from you and you're like, oh, I've updated the script, I'm like, but it always keeps it fresh. So, you know, I like that. And you were always working to, let me add this line or that for the character or the storyline, you know, to make it more forthright for the people who are watching, that type of thing. But I love it. I appreciate all your hard work. So, and your production team as well.
The goes two ways. Ronnie or Steph, anything to add?
Yeah, no, I think that you are always so agile and flexible, and I think that really helps with your updating, revising process, because you're always open to anything that we're going to say or think, or even friends who come and watch, you know, previews. You just adapt very easily and very quickly, and I think that is, as obviously as a writer, is such a great asset.
Well,
it annoys me, but you know,
being a writer yourself,
as a writer, it's necessary and it has to happen. So,
we're all trying to find you know what I'm saying?
Authenticity.
Authenticity.
And yeah, that's the hard part. That's the hard part. Stephanie, thoughts?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I really appreciate that you also catch things in our lines that we might not necessarily catch or think to bring up. I know one of my lines was a big mouthful, and I was just like, all right, I'm just going to roll with it. I'm just going to keep this really long line, even though it's really hard to say. And then you emailed me and you're like, you know what, I kind of changed this. So it's less of a mouthful, it flows a bit better. So you're also always looking out for us, I think, as actors. Just kind of like, hey, this might not work and I want to make your life as simple as possible, so I'm going to change this. So I always appreciate that too.
Well, thank you. And you were a real trooper to try to keep saying that particular line. We know which one that was. So I'm going to jump to Michael George. I think you were up next. And
can you hear me?
We can hear you.
We can hear you, Michael.
Thanks. Thanks, Francesca. Well, like the other gentleman, Phil said, it's kind of short, but it was intriguing because of the effects that you've put in. I don't call them special effects or background scene, and also the action part. And I enjoyed the sheriff voiceover. So she's got a place in in theater. She doesn't have to be on the stage performing. That was good, I thought also. But my question really is about your process, because I'm trying to pick your brain. That's the kind of person I am. I steal things from other people, like great ideas. I steal them. So I'm interested in your process. So my question is, have you gone all the way through the plot line to the end? In other words, you already know what the end is now as you build these, I call them building blocks to get there. Or are you just kind of winging it, which is another way to do it, and just going with the flow and, how whatever comes to your mind, and is that the process, or is it something like a hybrid, something in between? Maybe, I don't know.
Well, that's a great question, and I think it's unique to the piece for me. And in this particular case with maps, I would say I kind of have a roadmap in my head of an individual episode, but to be honest, I have no idea where the whole thing is going to end up. And I know, there would be some who would say that I would have to have it all outlined and, plotted and all the rest. But I know myself well enough to know that when I do that, I get bored and I feel like I've written it already and I walk away from it. So I like to keep it fresh, but with kind of a bit of a roadmap in mind. And the other thing that I really like to do is I love to create characters, and I love to let the characters go. And sometimes they just go places where I hadn't even thought about. And some of that's here, and then some of that's with our fine actors. So that would be my answer to that question. But since we're kind of getting towards the end here, and we have less questions, I'm just going to see if Ronnie or Francesca or Stephanie have an answer to that question or not for yourselves.
The question of do we know how it's going to end?
More for your own process, your own writing process. Do you?
Oh, I never know how something's going to end. That's not true. Sometimes I know only the ending and I don't know how to get to the rest of it. It just depends on what's inspired me and where my inspiration has come from and what video is playing in my head. Because I always see my writing as a scene playing out like a movie. So that's where I start from. So if I might have a middle, I might just have a scene. I might just have one little interaction and build something from that. It's just whatever strikes you.
I'm a mess. I like to put my characters in situations that I don't know how to get them out of and then close the document and then come back later. So I have no process, nothing. I just figure it out as I go.
Yeah, nice. Francesca?
Oh, I'm such a neophyte in my writing. I'm just going to say I'm a neophyte.
Fair enough. Let's see, I saw Bill and Regina, but Regina, but they disappeared into, oh no, there they are.
There they are.
Hi, guys. You'll need to unmute.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
So
That was fun.
it sure was. And Joanne mentioned that it reminded her of comic strips and wanting to see the next edition. It reminds me, at the risk of dating, going to the Saturday matinee in the mid-50s and watching the 10-minute serial that was before the feature film. And you would come back week after week to see the serial, and you might or might not like the feature film. I did that because they always had a kids thing going on, at least back in the 50s.
Great, thank you for that. I'm glad there's some tradition to what we're attempting here. And thank you for being here. It's good to see you guys. We have a couple in the Q&A. I just want to read some of the comments. Let's see, from Michael. Hey, Michael, bravo, maestro, thank you. You're very kind. And kudos to your lively cast and production staff, Josh. Betsy and I watched in our all together, thank you. Unpresentable for Zoomish communications. Looking forward to Maps 5.0. Thank you, Michael. Linda, related to the process, do you sometimes encourage the actors to ad lib?
We were doing that at 3:30 this afternoon.
That's a good one. Or is it important to stay with your written script? Yeah, they can ad lib. I don't think we've done a whole lot of it, but we have done a little bit. So I wouldn't say in this particular instance it's been a big process, but I certainly don't have a problem with that. Joyce says, this was so great, very entertaining, and I like how there are new visuals to add to the experience. This is a nice thing to join live because it gives us some of the feeling of attending a live in-person play. Thank you, Joyce, for that. And, you know, spoiler alert, we all have talked about that magical day when theaters open up and we're able to get this thing on its legs. So thank you for that comment. I think we have time for one more. And Harry, I'm gonna give you the stage for one short final comment to send us off today. You have to unmute though. Harry, we need you to unmute.
Oh,
You're muted.
Yeah. Oh, can you hear me now?
We're here.
All these technical things are so complicated. I'm thoroughly enjoying this, and but the interaction, I think, is something you can't get in a theater. That is, the people who are playing the parts have some comments, and I'm sure the comments in today's interaction will influence what's going to come up next. And that's an interesting way to prepare a play. Now, but you know, you can have a very successful outcome this way. I was thinking of the bestseller, I don't know if you remember it, called Naked Came the Stranger. Do you know that book? It was a bestseller. And each person wrote, each of several novelists, not one, wrote a chapter in turn. They had to see what the preceding chapter was, then they added their chapter, and then the next novelist had to continue that. So it gives you, and it was a fantastic book because it was a bestseller. And nobody knew that it had been written like that. They all thought it was the nominal. So this has that kind of interaction, which is very unusual and very exciting if you follow it as it develops.
Great. Harry, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Great to see you. And there was one more comment in the Q&A.
I think before the Q&A, I just want to know the people I have who wanted to speak were George Rothman and Michael George. Those are the two people I have left.
Well, Michael George, we've heard both from George and Michael. So unless they have some other comment, I did want to read a comment from our neighbor across the street, Richard, who said the sheriff is much too pretty to be off camera.
Oh, that's That's nice.
Thank you, Richard. Richard appearing in a play of his own in about a week, I think. So we will look forward to that. Let me just say once again to everybody, thank you for coming today. It's so great to be able to get together with everybody and also to have this little chat afterwards. Great to see all of you. Look forward to seeing you in person, as soon as that's possible. And again, to Stephanie, to Ronnie, to Francesca, to Sheriff Nancy, to Josh, thank you so much for bringing the words of this wacky playwright to life. So onward to MAPS 5.0. Everybody be healthy and have a great joyful week. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
you,
you.
fellow actors. See you at the cast party.
All right. We'll see all the cast party. Dad, did we